Henry Cole, who was born in February 1964, is a renowned TV presenter and director, as he has worked on various shows like The Motorbike Show, World's Greatest Motorcycle Rides, Find It, Fix It, Flog It, and Shed and Buried. He is a man who has a deep interest in motorcycles, and all his shows are about the travel journey where he embarks on motorcycle rides. Moreover, he also has a passion for restoring vintage vehicles and has published a few books regarding his love of motorcycles. At the beginning, he worked as a news cameraman for channels like ITV and TF1, later making rockumentaries with rock bands. As of now, he appears to have achieved peak success in life and established himself pretty well in his career. His net worth is assumed to be around PS2 million, which he has earned through all his TV shows, as well as his motorcycle company, Gladstone Motorcycles, that produced limited edition British bikes. He is also the author of 2 books, A Biker's Life and The Life-Changing Magic of Sheds. However, the ex-TV host definitely had faced a lot of challenges and difficulties that life had thrown in his path before he got to where he is now. So, what really happened to Henry Cole? He comes from a British family, and he was raised in Norfolk, England, in a large Victorian rectory. He was brought up in a strict household, as his father was in the British Army, and his mother wasn't quite active, yet she was supportive. What's more interesting is the fact that Henry comes from a wealthy and famous family background, as his great-great-great-great-uncle was the former British Prime Minister William Ewart Gladstone. Considering his family history and background, he was obviously expected to follow family tradition and join the army like his ancestors, but that did not happen since Henry found his own passion and interest. It so happened that he wasn't meant to follow in the footsteps of his family tradition, all thanks to Uncle Redbeard, who showed Henry his collection of classic motorcycles back in his home in Liverpool. At that moment, when Henry saw those bikes, heard their sound, and smelled them, he felt that it was meant for him. That is exactly when he was attracted to motorcycles and decided to pursue his interest. But he was only 12 at that time, and he wasn't allowed to have a bike until he turned 13. By the time, his passion for motorcycles only started to grow every day, and he used to have a collection of motorcycle magazines that he bought from the village shop. Despite coming from a wealthy family, he was attracted to the world of motorcycles that required getting your hands greasy, fixing complicated machinery, and of course, poor hair grooming. The first motorcycle Henry rode was a 250cc Honda single-cylinder, which was lent to him by one of his friends. He was excited and decided to ride it, even though he didn't really know how to use one of those and didn't have a clear instruction on how to operate it. As a result, he started the motorcycle but couldn't control it in the right direction and was clumsy enough to steer it straight into a hedge. Anyway, that small accident wasn't going to demotivate him or put a stop to his passion. Rather, that was the beginning of his journey towards his motorcycle obsession. After some time, Henry decided that he wanted to enter the entertainment industry and do some movies. But that led him down the path of substance use, which only got worse during his 20s. At one point, his situation got so much worse that he started spending around 250 pounds a day on drugs. During this time, Henry completely isolated himself from the world and even had the drugs delivered to his house, which caused him some serious financial issues. As a result of it, he failed to pay his mortgage, and his belongings were seized by the bank. Moreover, this also caused him to lose some people who were very close to him prior to his addiction. Later, his addiction story even got out in the media that depicted his struggles and challenges during that phase of his life. Even after all the substance abuse situations and his downfall, Henry's family had his back and supported him throughout his misery. He then decided to get back on his feet and make his life better, so he worked on the TV show again, which played a huge part in his recovery. And it is assumed that his recovery cost him almost £500,000. In any case, it has been more than 30 years that he has stayed clean and got his life back on track. He also talks about his experience with substance use and all the pain it brought to him with other people who are in similar situations in the hope that it might help them. In 1995, he directed his first movie with Mad Dogs and Englishmen, but unfortunately, it failed to impress the audience, and his career was in danger. However, everything changed after he met a Channel 5 executive who gave him a chance despite initial hesitation to let him work at the host. It was a Christmas special episode, and Henry did an impressive job since it was a success and loved by the audience. That way, the show continued for 5 long years, and after working for such a long time in Stars and Cars, he finally came up with his own idea to conduct a series called The World's Greatest Motorcycle Rides. The series featured Henry embarking on long bike rides on famous roads, such as Route 66 in America, and it was a dream come true for him. He never thought he would be able to share his lifelong dream with the world, and since everything was going well, he decided to settle down and have a family. That's when he met Jane Cole, and they currently live in the Cotswolds, England. The couple is a family of 4 with 2 kids, Tom and Charlie. However, Henry does not share much about his private life in the media, so it is hard to get more information about his family. As for Jane, she helps him with his work and projects, but she prefers to stay away from the publicity of media or any of her husband's shows. Furthermore, Henry has another member in the family named Jelly Bean. That is his dog, and it makes the family whole. Likewise, in 2013, Henry set a world land speed record for a pre-1955 750C motorcycle, riding a Bras Superior at 99.78 miles per hour on the Bonneville Salt Flats. It was a thrilling experience for him, which definitely showed his love and dedication for bike riding. He now works for a safety program in Devon and Cornwall, where he encourages and shares culture about motorcycles, but gives more priority to safety to help reduce the risk of bike accidents. Henry believes that riding bikes is a thrilling experience, but it also comes with dangers, and that people had to be aware of it. That being said, Henry Cole's life story inspires many others who are going through similar circumstances in their lives.